three questions. Two are specific. One to the speaker from Austria, where I'm pretty certain it was him, who said that there's been a 74% loss of diversity since World War I. I think that's what he said. Now, that would mean if there were 1,000 different plant species in Austria in 1918, there are only 240 now. I mean, that's what that statement says, and I do find it hard to believe, actually, with all due respect. Yes, some species may have reduced in number, but I'd be astonished if they disappeared completely. Now, the next one is to the gentleman from Denmark with a very impressive presentation on that varieties had managed to maintain yield in the presence of reducing inputs. This is pretty good. Was that achieved by using hybrids? Just out of interest. But it brings me really on to another question. That is a success story for the seed industry. Do you think any new legislation is necessary in view of that success story? One would say, well, let's let well alone. Now, finally, this Parliament had a knee-jerk reaction a few months ago and just banned neonicotinoid seed dressings. They just banned them. No proper scientific justification for it. Now, you might say, well, we're seed people, we're not seed dressing people. However, your varieties are in the pipeline for, say, 20 years, and you will be using the available seed dressings on them. Suddenly, if that seed dressing is withdrawn, in effect you have a different variety because you have assumed you will have the benefit of that seed dressing and that will cover off a problem, perhaps a weakness in the variety. Perhaps you could just comment on neonicotinoids and seed dressings in general and the attitude of this Parliament towards it. Thank you.
There's a niche market. Then Mr. Agnew.
About species, I was talking about varieties, but in the old sense, not in the DUS sense. That means, of course, it's scientifically difficult to compare a number which you can easily measure after a registration system is introduced to a time before where nobody kept book about that. But according to gene bank accessions, national and private ones, and according to research being done in the book of companies, the register of companies in different countries, it might be concluded that about, this is an estimation of course, 70% of the genetic variety figured in varieties, not according to the US varieties, but in different land races, genotypes and so on, have been already been lost. So they are no longer available, not even in gene banks. But 25% of them still exist, mostly in gene banks. So what is actually on the fields is even much less. But what we have conserved, it could be reused for further breeding.